All right, so you just ate that carbohydrate-rich meal. You managed to digest all the polysaccharides, disaccharides, and turn everything into monosaccharides. All the monosaccharides went through the villi of the small intestine into the bloodstream. Now your blood glucose level is high, okay? What happens is that your brain obviously recognizes that. So there's a trigger that tells the beta cells of the pancreas to send out insulin. Insulin is a hormone that targets the muscle cells and the fat cells, but it targets mainly the muscle cells. So the insulin comes and binds to a receptor on the muscle cell to allow the glucose in. Remember how we said that your cells are made of a plasma membrane, a phospholipid bilayer, and it's very selective and it won't let polar molecules in easily at all because this phospholipid bilayer is very nonpolar. Remember the fatty acid, those tails, those two long fatty acid tails, very nonpolar. The outside of the plasma membrane is polar, the inside is polar, but that interior part is extremely nonpolar. So glucose with all its OH groups, remember all those OH groups that can hydrogen bond, glucose is very polar molecule, won't go through the plasma membrane. So what has to happen is that insulin has to come and bind to something called an insulin receptor to allow the membrane to become more porous and let the glucose in. Now, if your body does not produce any insulin, so basically the beta cells of the pancreas have been destroyed, so no insulin is being produced, that is a condition called type 1 diabetes or juvenile diabetes or IDDM. So we're going to write down here, type 1 diabetes is sometimes called juvenile diabetes. And the reason it's called juvenile diabetes is that most of the time the people that are affected are quite young. Like they could start, at age 9 or 11 or 13, something like that. That's typical type 1, okay? So basically their beta cells of their pancreas have been destroyed. It's like an autoimmune condition. They've been destroyed. They don't produce any more insulin. So now this person is dependent on an outside source of insulin. You have to have insulin. You can't live without it. So people with type 1 diabetes or IDDM, insulin-dependent diabetes mellitus, or juvenile diabetes, they need to have an insulin pump or insulin injections in order to regulate blood glucose levels. Because if your blood glucose levels stay high in the blood, then your cells aren't getting any glucose. You're not going to be able to function because you need the glucose for metabolism so you can get ATP, make ATP. So you've got to regulate your blood glucose levels. It has to be around 100 milligrams per deciliter. A little less, a little more is great. But people with type 1 diabetes, their blood glucose level shoots up. It could be 300 milligrams per deciliter or 600 milligrams per deciliter. So the solution is to get some insulin and bring that blood glucose level down, because now the glucose is going to get into the cells and we're all set. Now there's another type of diabetes, and you've probably heard of it, and this is called type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is NIDDM, or non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, and this is usually adult onset. Adult onset. And this is sometimes associated with obesity. A lot of our children nowadays are not moving enough, becoming a little too obese, and so sometimes they might end up with type 2 diabetes. And so what happens with that? Now, with that, the pancreas is actually producing insulin, okay? It may not be producing a lot, but it is producing insulin. But the insulin is having trouble binding to the receptor on the muscle cell. And the idea is that when you are overweight, when you have very large fat cells, the cells the insulin receptors are kind of hidden, and the muscle is surrounded by fat, so insulin's coming around trying to find a receptor, can't find it, so your blood glucose level stays high because it can't find a receptor to bind. So type 2 diabetes is usually considered an insulin receptor problem. So binding to that receptor. Type 1 diabetes, no insulin hormone is produced. Okay, the word hormone is just, you've heard of the word hormone, we've used it in previous videos, but a hormone is usually produced by in one part of the body and then sent through the bloodstream and targets another. So insulin hormone is produced by the beta cells of the pancreas and then goes through the bloodstream and targets the muscle cells. Okay, if it doesn't find a receptor there to bind to because the muscle cells are covered with fat, then insulin can't do its job. So even though there's insulin, it's not enough to do its job because it can't bind properly. All right, so this is reversible. Okay, this one over here, unless they've figured out a way, and they will, to put some new beta cells in people's pancreas that are functional, this one's more difficult. This one over here is reversible. All a person has to do is be a compliant patient. They have to try their best to eat properly, exercise, reduce the size of the fat cells, and hopefully it can be reversed. I mean, obviously diabetes is something people live with, but it can lead to some problems. It can lead to kidney problems. It can lead to blindness. It can lead to problem with circulation. So, you can have gangrenous toes and, amputations, all sorts of things that are not at all something you want to be able to want to have. So the best thing is to control it. If you've got type 1 diabetes, control it by observing your blood glucose levels, taking your insulin when you're supposed to. If you have type 2 diabetes, then definitely try your best to reverse it by exercising and eating right and reducing the size of the fat cells. All right, so why did we cover all of this? Well, we needed to get to the point where glucose is in the cell. And now our glucose is in the cell because the insulin bound to the receptor and our glucose is in the cell. I'm going to try to erase using this. This might be better. Not really much better, but let's see. Apparently that eraser made a lot of black stuff. All right, so now we have glucose in the cell. Remember, there was an insulin receptor here. Insulin bound to the receptor, allowed the glucose now into the cell. All right, once the glucose gets into the cell, it goes through several different things. The first thing is a 10 enzymatic or 10 enzyme pathway. Remember, at the end of the last videos of the enzyme videos, I told you guys what a pathway was. A pathway is when the product of one reaction is the substrate of the next reaction. And then the product of the following reaction is the substrate of the next reaction. So there's this 10 enzyme pathway called glycolysis. All right? And these 10 enzymes, this is all found in the cytoplasm. So you remember from biology classes, your cell has the cytoplasm, and then remember in the middle here, and we talked about this with nucleic acids, this is your nucleus. And remember we had the ribosomes where we had the translation, remember all that? And then here's a new organelle, and if you've had a bio class, this is the mitochondria. All right, so Glycolysis, the enzymes are in the cytoplasm. So all this space over here, that's your cytoplasm. Then once glycolysis is done, we move into the mitochondria. So the next three things, the transition reaction, and I'll explain this in more detail in the next video, Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain, okay, all these guys, these are in the mitochondria. I'm going to write it here, mitochondria, if you can see what I'm writing here. Okay, so glycolysis is a 10 enzyme pathway that's found in the cytoplasm. Okay, all 10 enzymes. At the end of that, whatever the end of glycolysis is, and we'll talk about that in the next video, it goes into something called the transition reaction, and then Krebs cycle and electron transport chain. And then at the end, you get all the ATPs. Okay, so we'll get into a bit more detail of this. Again, I'm just giving you an overview because this is our last week. We don't have enough time to get into every single detail of metabolism, as much as I would absolutely love to do that for you guys. All right, good. So we're done with this, and I'll see you in the next one.